Okay, our Zen Pirates, here we are. And we're about to do quite a production. I kind of wish I could dismiss. Is there a way to dismiss all pawns? I don't know. I would want the stage to be cleared here. So why don't I do this? I'm gonna summon one of my favorited pawns. We'll check up on one of the see what their updates are like. Ooh, Calypso is a level 47 mage. So that's too high and too expensive for me. I also found a thief named Minerva we could recruit at some point. We'll have some good discussion of the Athena versus the Minerva entities. So obviously that's going to be fun. Uh, yeah, it looks like they're all nice to see Bears keeping up. They're doing good with their. Oh, look at that! Wellington's doing really well. Wellington's doing. That's the one who. That's the alchemist who came up with the. Here's 10,000 gold for a single potion guy. Um, Mr. Business is my favorite one. He got one level. He's up from level 10. Maybe he'll catch up to me someday, and I can have Mr. Business, the mage I planned on using. Um, but yeah, we're gonna obviously go with this one here. Uh, it's weird because like I think there's a lot to be said for I could say that if I were gonna write a Terzarima poem about uh, hell, I would probably choose Big Dave as my psychopomp and tour guide, because obviously this would be an act of piratical tourism, so I could go see some friends, you know, stuff like that. Which was the exact same situation Dante's literate contemporaries were in reading the Inferno, right? Because that's where we get to see all of our favorite writers, right? And the one where Virgil is going around conducting things. Remember, though, Dante he comes out of the Latin tradition. Like Virgil's not my writer. Homer's my writer, obviously. But if I were to explore hell, the hell that I would have access to today, right, in mid 2020s America, right, because that's what that hell would be constructed out of. It would be Big Dave that I would want as the psychopomp, and it would fit. I mean, he's going to be down there for having committed suicide, right? I've had a user on the subreddits I discuss literary commentary call on compares suicide to an act of cowardice. So the people who gatekeep um, Purgatorio, um, uh, just like that, will hand out the law on why Big Dave finds himself in hell currently, where he's got a gnarly reputation with Purgatorio's gatekeepers. Right? Fair enough. Um, but I think it like to say it that way for all of us readers of David Foster Wallace contemporarily can understand, like, can see in that literary relationship between Dante and Virgil that Dante's the protagonist of it's a kind of a poem about an alter ego. It's like the psychological version of the fellow who wrote it, right? Um, and that's why that writer is his guide. But that's the thing, is for his civilization, the literate folks in his environment he had grown up with, reading all the same literatures that they had access to. Virgil was their DFW, right? And I'm saying this to DFW readers. I'm not saying that DFW is the Virgil of our civilization, or that anyone's going to particularly, well, who knows? But he's not. Let's just say that Virgil and DFW are very different literati, right? Um, but that's the Big Dave that I want to summon here, right? And so if any of you DFW fans who are out there, and there's probably at least, well, I would say there's got to be at least one of you out there, one DFW fan will watch this, right? Even if I only get up to five views, one of them will be a DFW fan, just because of how I distribute my content. Uh, by which I mean that if no other one ever shows up, I'll just pick a DFW fan I know and send it to him, right? It's not hard to do. But for DFW fans, if you've seen the movie Last Lovers Left Alive, which features a cameo of Infinite Jest, um, a cameo of Infinite Jest that's in the hands of a vampire, right? Um, it's just the greatest. It's the greatest vampire movie of all time. Last Lovers Left Alive. That's a movie about Shakespeare, though. DFW's role in cameo is very elegantly and specifically placed, and it's kind of because of that actual cameo that's the illusion I'm going for. With that's what we're here doing now, right? Is we're going to try to sleuth out Big Dave, because as you viewers who saw the last short video saw, we came in here and summoned his shade via the Riftstone, and we learned that he already spoke Elvish. He'd already done the quest that we are about to set out on ourselves, and that what was the other thing? Oh, and then the quest he has for us is to kill a Drake. So we can't just futz around with a Cyclops. We've got to go kill a half dragon, right? And that he understands economics because he's paying full price, right? So these are and then because of my own stupidity, because I'm in fact a stupid person, when I say village idiot, that is always it is as much a reminder to myself as to anyone else, but it is a reminder to everyone else. This is, if my content sounds like I'm an idiot, there is a reason for that, right? And so I made a stupid mistake, and we saw this perfect pawn, Big Dave. And that's the thing, is the quest we're about to leave. When we walk out of here, the quest we're going on is for the sake of the elves to save their dwindling tree, their ailing tree. We are about to go into the hell part of the game, the desert area. And so I've had all this trepidation because I didn't want to go because the gameplay is so fun and pleasant in the nice medieval kingdom with its lush grasses and mountain views and rivers and, things. But I knew the elves were going to have to send me into hell to do, because they can't go there, right? And so Big Dave appears, and and internally I was like, oh, this is so perfect because it'll be just like Virgil and Dante. Big Dave shows up right when I have to go to hell. And then through my own stupidity, I didn't hire the pawn, and I dismissed it, and I could not seek it out. And I thought what had happened was that, imagine yourself being Dante and Virgil, like, checks you in, and then you make some stupid mistake by turning around at the wrong time, and then you miss the tour guide, and now you have to go to hell without Virgil. And that's the shoes the sandals, maybe I should say, I found myself in. And I was like literally internalizing this that was a very heavy realization that I had just lost Big Dave after getting this glimpse, right? Because of the context, right? The meaning of letting that illusion of revealing itself and then disappearing because I'm too stupid for it, right? But that's the thing, is I was already in the process, in the act of making literary commentary, and the tools I was using recorded Big Dave's pawn ID. And I just want to phrase it just like this for the DFW fans. So what I did was I stopped the video I was making. I went and I watched it, and then I took the apple out of my pocket and snapped a photo of Big Dave's address in the cloud, which I had caught by freeze framing a motion picture of literary commentary. Okay? I just wanted to say that sentence like that. All right, I don't know how to use this system, but I should be able to just do this. And this might not work. That's the thing. I've never done this. I don't know if this always works. I don't know what's going on. But because I was in the process of making literary commentary and had my tools running, I think that when Big Dave tested me by appearing and disappearing because I was too stupid, he wanted to see if I was already prepared enough that it didn't matter. Right? Okay. So H, those, it's awkward. This is a thing that's awkward. I can't read. because I don't have glasses anymore for so long. And like on my phone, I can read because text gets bigger, but it's tiring. And so when I look at a photo that isn't enlarged and I see what the actual text size is, I can't read any of those letters. On the TV, I can read them. On the phone, I can't. Anyway, some of my books, and specifically some Zen texts, have some pretty big text, text size, font. So it's like not, it's still doable. But there are several Zen texts that do not have that, uh, and they're very challenging to read, which is why I have digital copies of all the ones I could get. Because if you have that, you actually don't need glasses at my level of vision loss. Okay, I'm going to read it and verify if I got it right. H1JOR, H1JOR, XL87, XL87, J5, J5. Okay. Cross your fingers, folks. Let's see if this actually happened and I can actually reach out and snag him back out of the ether. It's like, no, Big Dave, you got work to do, buddy. Oh, Big Dave. It took a delay to load the image of it, and when it took that extra 2 seconds, I was like, oh no. But isn't that the perfect pawn for DFW? He's a warrior, a thief, and a fighter, and he has not even a single iota of experience in magic anywhere. Just wanted to point that out. He's a certified Cyclops killer, and that's what he's interested in hunting. Half dragons. All right. Summon pawn. See you later, Dante. Thanks for giving us good luck. Dante walks off into the mist that way. We'll just wait. Dante disappears into the mist, and Big Dave is here. Dude, it is good to see you.
Should you need to communicate in Elvish, pray call upon me. I would be only too glad to assist.
You know what? We're going to have 2 Elvish speakers with us, Dave. I don't think it's going to hurt. Oh, yeah.
Please dispense with the formalities. They exhaust me so.
Fair enough. All right. We got our guide to the desert. I have the biggest smile on my face I've had, even in a week of great spring weather.
Which is the most pressing. We cannot do everything at once.
I agree. Here we go. And remember, this is so great. Big Dave, watch this.
You to the castle entrance, Master, but no further.
See that hand? I gave him the command to go help, and that hand icon means I've already done this quest. Follow me. Right?
It's been a hard day.
But you weren't expecting that tonight. This is how we're starting our quest for the elves, by the way. Athena, Gandalf, and Big Dave in Cervantes. I've never even been through here. I even only peeked at it once.
So, you seek to enter Batal, I presume?
Oh.
I'll have
Leave this place at once. You have no right.
Well, fortunately,
There's a ladder here.
After you, Arisen.
That's a good point. Does the ladders go all the way? No, they definitely do not. But I'm pretty sure there is some way around here we can figure out. Although I'm not positive about that. But like, maybe there isn't. So Dave.
You wish me at the Vanguard?
Yeah.
I will.
You'll take me there again, and they're gonna ask for this permit. And then, okay, let's observe this a little closer. Dave takes us. This is where you gotta go, he says.
So, you seek to enter Batal, I presume? I'll have to check your permit.
Leave this place at once. You have no right.
Okay.
Follow me.
So Big Dave still just wants to go through there, so so the permit is not a part of this quest. We will check out our other Batal quest, which Dave would likely have also done. Oh, he hasn't. Huh. That's all it says. How do I get... I'm sure I can figure this out. For example, let's just try to talk to this guy.
So, you seek
Nope.
to enter Batal, I presume?
Leave this place at once.
Okay, I got it, dude. Jeez. Fucking guards. They just paid for meanness. It's like I heard you the first 7 times. Alright. Okay, let's think about... See, this is the thing is, my gut would tell me to instantly go to my liaison embedded within the kingdom's the secular government. What's his name? Not Gregor, but Brant, right? But that's back in the capital, right? So then as soon as I remember that distance, I instantly think, well, there's a chance that there's someone with secular authority here somewhere that I could maybe discuss this matter with, right? Of some sort. And so now I'm trying to think about the...
Greetings! We see a great many customers given our locate. The sword and staff is open for business.
So I'm trying to think about the different NPCs that are available or are likely available to me in this town, and trying to somehow figure out which, if any, might give me information about how to get through the... Yeah. I'd be mean if I had to live in a little box and couldn't camp every night, too. Oh.
If you want my advice, heed no.
Oh, thanks. It's good, but...
Might as well take a look while you're here. I enjoy this work. Keeps me on my... Many thanks.
Huh. There's a forger over here, so maybe I can get a forged border pass. This guy forges objects for you.
Welcome, sir. Contrary to the name, if you think me a liar, then buy something and see the truth for yourself. Ah, I see you desire one
Oh,
of my
yeah, but you have to have the
masterpieces.
original to get a forgery.
Very well.
View special finds. No, courtly tunic, but I doubt he's going to have... Well, that's interesting. I can pass as
Hope to see you again.
a beastren if
No
necessary.
purchases to be made today, I see. I
Well,
just
not
hope
yet.
The shopkeep understands.
Browsing.
Sir Mirrodin, who calls yon manor home, is said to be a Tellis. He keeps all manner of magical implements in his abode. He's rather a crotchety sort, to say the least.
By the way, that, which is an interesting piece of Camelot folklore that is waiting for us. Myrddin is the name of a Welsh poet, bard, warrior, something, from, I believe, the 7th century, who is mentioned in the chronicles as having fought the Anglo-Saxons. And he is, the most likely or most useful, most likely source of the name, the application of the name Merlin and the way it was applied in Albion, right? Myrddin. So that's the actual. So you could say that's the real Welsh Merlin right there.
Best to enjoy it.
It's funny. I've actually had many discussions about that. So I'll give a good example of one. Because I live in this town out, middle of nowhere. Lots of people from all sorts of different generations here. A very dynamic societal fabric that covers many, many, many types of people, right? And then so I used to go hang out at this one cafe where lots of like the nicest people would go hang out. And then there was this one real like older guy, right? Real funny talker, great conversationalist. He was a science teacher for decades, I believe, in the Alaskan bush, and then he retired here, right? And he was a Vietnam War vet. Just a real interesting guy, and he had a license plate. This is what I mean by funny. So he had a license plate that just said Darwin, but then he had it also on a really big pickup truck. It was just no big deal. That's the fine vehicle here, but it's just a funny truck. Even looking at him, like you wouldn't think that was his vehicle, right? But you have this big, really aggressive Darwin plate on, and he would just be like, "Oh yeah, I hope that bothers the heck out of everyone." I just wanted everyone to see it all the time. That's what I think, right? So that's kind of this fellow's attitude, which I very much always appreciated. And we ended up talking a lot because he's the kind of guy. He sees I showed up and just started studying poetry at the market all the time. In public right there, drinking my tea every morning. And he after like a year or something like that, he kind of noticed me and wanted to come over and meet me, and we started chatting a little bit. And he's an intellectual. He likes talking about intellectual sorts of stuff. We're actually going to zip back to the Capitol here. Hopefully we don't have to fight an ambush, but it seems like 2 out of 3 times at least you get an ambush. At least it's just lizards. You don't have to deal with like a griffin invasion.
I will protect you.
As long as we keep them from destroying the ox cart, it only takes 2 seconds. It is a pain. Oh, we're already within sight of the castle, so even if they get the ox cart, it's surprising how often they actually can manage to get it, even when you got 6 armed guards here. Oh! See? I did that, and that's how fragile they make the ox carts, is I misaimed my bow and I blew up the cart, just pressing the wrong button. I guess they want you to know life was intense in medieval times.
Over so soon?
Right?
Why? We seem to have come through unscathed.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent.
Thankfully that could have happened in the middle of nowhere. It would have been a 10-minute walk back to town, and I just need to see about this pass, because it just makes more sense to check here first. I know.
I knew you would prevail, Master.
I dare say, the Arisen could have defeated this lot without us.
Does that harpy just try to pick Athena up? Oh, ow. I'm not doing very good. By the way, it's kind of late and I'm like tired, right? So that not only does the stupidity increase in that environment, but my ability to play the video game. I just have less resources to work with, generally speaking. All right. Enough to play a game and make a video, but still. Also accurately aiming a bow in the middle of that, maybe not so much. So this fellow would come chat with me like once a week or so, for like a year. So we got to be pretty good acquaintances. And that's the thing about Merlin in the Albion Chronicles, right? The Mort d'Arthur, like in Britain, is that Merlin is a notoriously ambiguous and controversial figure, right? And like he's got this just a mixed
about town.
reputation, in that world, which is interesting. It's really because you look at the French Chronicles, that and that Mallory was drawing from quite a bit, but that's where we see the changes in Albion. Is that in the French Chronicles, which were, come right from Charlemagne's court, Merlin is a benevolent and beneficent character that kind of represents the font of creativity, you know, as opposed to the Grail. Like, these are separate entities. Like, maybe you need a Grail to go fill it up in the font or something like that, but there's this fountain of creativity, you know, Merlin represents, right? Positive. Whereas you know, it's a little more challenging for someone based on Myrddin, right? A real sort of figure who would have a kind of controversial effect on that
Perhaps new discoveries await us
Camelot
above.
civilization that was suffering collapse, as recorded in their swan song folk literature that we're all familiar with now, right? And when we're currently discussing. And so anyway, so this guy would like to chat, but he wasn't like a big reader. You know, he was like into lots of science and stuff, but literature and history wasn't. But that's what he kind of found interesting. Was like, oh well, he'd like to talk about ideas and stuff, and you know, he thought it was interesting to talk to someone who, like, my perspective. We could discuss the same subjects constantly, but my perspective, I'd be like, you know, talking about Greek literature or Shakespeare or whatever, you know, like that kind of, or history, rather than like science and physics and that kind of thing. So those make for fun conversations, but he would bring up some of his like, he would bring and talk about some of his like literary entertainments as such. For example, like what Netflix TV show he was watching. And at one point he was watching, apparently there's some show called Merlin or Arthur or something like that on Netflix that I haven't seen. Right. But I want to show what this guy did. It was really funny, and it made me laugh out loud when it happened. So he tells me, he's like, well, I got a question, because I don't know much about the myths, right? I've just really, I know I've heard about them, whatever. I got the cartoon kind of thing, you know, but there's some stuff in the show that I, for some reason, I wanted to ask you about. He says it like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, I love Camelot myths, so I'd be interested to hear what they put in there. You know, it's not a show I'd watch. I told him I don't have Netflix, you know, anything like that. And then he just described that, like, Arthur is like the hero, right, and like Merlin was kind of like a evil magician sort of thing, maybe wizard, like a baddie, right? But like also fought or something, and he said that he had a shield that was covered with snakes or something like that. That's what he said. That's what he said. Like, I have not seen the show, and I never like looked up I never read anything about it to see what he was talking about. But he puts it like that, and I laughed, right? Because I was like, oh, that's funny, like, because that's like, that would be like the Aegis, right? You know, and in this world of sword and board sorcery and Camelot conflict, it would be funny to have him have a shield with snakes on it. And so I laughed, you know, and he said, well, and then this acquaintance who remarked about it to me said, well, I just thought it was interesting, but I was wondering if that, you know, what did that mean? Or like, what? He's like, well, that's what stuck out to me, right? And I was like, oh, well, you know, and I made some comment about the Aegis, and I said, oh, it's interesting because that's what it's pointing at, because the Merlin was a bard, right? And so the Aegis is like the defensive thing that Athena had back in those myths, right? Athena had it, not Merlin, but it's the same object, right? And it was like the Gorgon's head, but really, like, you can look at that Aegis as a defensive ability when Athena's holding it. And this is where we see it, and with just following the Gorgon's head story and like the image of the snakes on the Aegis, right? Is that defensiveness would, when Athena's carrying it, it's pretty clear you can see it's because she is the one who weaves the story of everything that happens, right? So that's what it's like, go ahead, right? And then that's a good literary joke, right? And I was like kind of explaining about how the Aegis and then he just like completely dismisses it, like in such an intentional way. It was like an act of comedy. He's like, oh well, he's like, I don't care about that. That's just stories. and he cut off, and I just laughed and was like, yep, that's exactly right. You know. So anyway, it's interesting that we have Myrddin in the game, and I don't play a sorcerer, so I don't even know if we will get there. But whenever we want to, we can we can start as a low-level sorcerer and go knock on Murden's door and see what happens after that. I'm actually just gonna summon my agent because it's since he is inside. But then again, I could be his agent. He could be blowing a bunch of hot air at my skirt. Oh, you're the chosen one, not the other guy. You know, this could be some random username popping up. You know, but that's the idea is that we're working together to solve the conundrum at the center of the existential crisis the kingdom's secular government is experiencing.
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your majesty's claim as a true arisen.
See, this is like some real medieval espionage shit. Okay. Nope. He doesn't even have an option about it.
We work to serve the city.
Okay, how do I get a border pass? I guess we just... Maybe the magistrate is what gives you the border pass? That would be bad news. You know what? I don't actually ever look anything up in this game because I like to experience it directly, but since we're on video, that's exactly what we're going to do. There's apparently this like plague of AI generated video game guides that just steal all the data from real guides and then fill up every single search result now. And then the way they do it is when they give you the answer, you have to read like 12 pages of bland text as they like literally you can see it teasing you along, like past ad after ad, and they just write all these sentences that are about to tell you, and then there's another long sentence that's about to tell you, and then and like I don't think there's any way to stop the AI from doing that. Like I think it's erasing the internet's functionality as we speak, right? Which is why it's good to be making literary content on platforms like Vimeo and YouTube and stuff where the AI can't do that. The AI is not about to flood, you know, my forum or username with similar types of videos to the ones I make, right? They're not at that level, right? So give them text, who cares? All right. Yep, this is one of those things. It just wrote me a whole paragraph and page about like introducing the idea of what it is to solve this particular quest. Oh no. Oh wait, that's the official way to get in. Oh, you know what's funny? Is I noticed it. It looks like the unofficial way to get in, because the official way is I could go way through the plot line. We want to sneak in for the elves right now. That Beastren mask is it. Apparently the Beastrens are from there. You know what? You know what?
Crowds can be troublesome.
You know what prevented me from striking on that solution myself? My actual wanting to be economical with in-game gold, because so I could use it for my
There's a ladder here.
After you,
literary
Arisen.
projects, right? With the Athena pawn. So that's what happened. Because if I had done my inclination, because when I saw that, I that's why I remarked on it. I thought, well, that's the one thing there that could actually somehow get me through that gate, maybe. Even though I had no reason to think that, it was just the nature of the thing, a disguise, you know. And perhaps I would have just bought it and tried, but in my head I was like, well, you know, there's quests to do.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
That's right,
One
Gandalf.
hopes these carts offer comfort commensurate
I wasted
to their
everybody's
costs.
time. But that was also me just being thorough. Since the ox cart's basically free, the way I think is that since that guy, and it's true, that's the truth, is that guy, I have to do those 3 other quests to get an official pass into Batal at some point in the quest thing. Right? So I was right. I went right to the NPC that actually would give me the official pass. So my game instincts were right. Oh god. Don't destroy my... Let's stand up! Get him away from this thing. Get away! Get away! Get away! Come over here. Come get the pokey guy. I don't think the wolves would break it, so as long as... Oh, don't! No, no, no! Get that thing out of the way!
Look at it. The beast has scarce stand. The well-placed striker wants to send it gazing skyward.
Moment of
Oh.
victory is at hand. Let us finish this.
There we go. We're so good at ogres now.
Let's push
That's right, Dave.
I did not know I could...
We're gonna go get Dave all of his badges. That's what our project's gonna be with the Dave pawn. We're gonna take him on all of our badge hunt. God damn it! See, this is what happens, and this is exactly how they do get you. Is you defend off the one, and then a wolf comes and breaks it with 1 hit, and you're like, that just doesn't seem fair. But this time we survived. I feel like actively narrating how ridiculous that would have been gave the game the opportunity to sort out that wasn't a necessary place to go in the mine ground. Right? Doze off date. Here we go. Okay, so now we can... So let's go over what we're actually doing here. So we tried to get into hell, and they said, you're not allowed. And then we can either work for the secular government for permission to gain entry, or we can dress up like a beastren, which is, when you look at it, like a lion person, right? Which I do find interesting. I'm taking off my wolf hat, and I'm going to be putting on a lion face. Hopefully I have enough gold for it. I should. I haven't been spending. I've got a wealth of material reserves in my storage because I don't sell any of that stuff.
Welcome, sir. If you think me a liar, then buy something and see the truth for you.
Yeah.
Self. Many thanks to you.
Our packs are heavier, and our
Look at that.
purses far lighter.
These were necessary expenses, mind.
I'll
No use
just let
clinging
the
to every
having
last
to dress
coin.
up as a lion to sneak into hell thing stand on its own 4 paws, I guess. Well, actually, depending on how the lion is standing, it means different thing.
Let's see.
Trying-
What can we do without?
All right, Dave. Big Dave, I'm glad we worked that out together. That was a fun one. Oh, and then we accidentally walked up to the wizard's house.
I don't believe I had any visitors today.
Uh-oh. So we're accidentally confronting Merlin as a lion. Yep,
I have no hospitality to extend toward one bereft of decorum.
fair enough. Well, the actual reason I believe he's saying that is this because I'm not dressed up nicely like a sorcerer. Not because I'm a lion. But, point taken. So where was the actual road up to the... Oh yeah, I got lost. Like I said, I'm stupid. It's a nice little town though. Lots of towns like this in Europe still. It's pretty arid here, but like I was in the Pyrenees and this isn't too far off. And I just continued being stupid again. I'll go this way. I knew it was this way. I just thought that that street wrapped around. Kind of tempted to, but I'm not going to. I was going to check on, see if Athena's returned from any quests. Because it could be that she's already earned her, oh, actually we are going to do that. If she's already earned her ogre badge, we can put it on another badge. And maybe we'll set it to Drake.
Reckon your road's been a trade town.
And go with Big Dave after this.
Crowds, but here,
after we break into hell and just
you'll find a bit
earn
of
our Drake
peace and
badges
quiet.
together.
I have no issue falling asleep.
Maybe we should have snuck into hell at night, but why bother? Yep, she's back from a quest. Ooh, 4 quests. And we've only got to kill 4 more ogres. Pretty slick. These are my gifts, all functional things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she had at least 5 quests. Yep. 1 heart, 2 hearts, 2 thumbs, and then didn't vote. But that's okay. Charles, there we go. Demi Solomon. Yeah, cool. We will just leave her on ogre. Yeah, that's good. That should take care of it.
I was a tad
So I just paid
incautious in my
10,000.
travels this
Like,
time. A horde of goblins got the better of me, if you can believe it.
she got killed by goblins? No, I can't believe it.
Our adventure continues.
What kind of slacker can lose that character to goblins? Oh
Shall we get underway?
my goodness. Seriously. What? That is not what I like to hear, right? That is not what I like to hear. But anyway, so you'll notice there that I got 5 gifts back, you know, it's from 5 different players, and I got 5 ogre kills, right? She might have been taken by 10 people, but oh no, those are, I don't know if that's how many ogre kills I got. I'm not sure how many, or if that even is information that's listed. But the thing is so I paid out 10,000 and each of them got 10,000, right? So I printed 40,000 gold out of thin air, right? And so
Master,
there's a good chance I can get 4. Just leave this overnight. You know, good chance I can get my 4 ogres in the bag.
So, you seek to enter Batal.
Leave this place at once.
Wait a second.
You have no...
Well, okay, this is where I maybe shouldn't have stopped reading the guide. Maybe it says, because it just said put the mask on it. This is what the guide does. Oh yeah.
I'll start dusting. I've little else to do. This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
I knew it.
New discoveries await us above.
I knew it. I knew that I'd found this before, and then I just was busy talking. There's a secret entrance. I guess I need the mask for it somehow, but I'm not even sure about that. I knew I'd wandered off somewhere and was like, wait a second, this looks like a back door to hell.
A treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
Oh, what a voice, Big Dave. Okay. Let's think about this. I got a map right here. See? That looks like it's right up the riverbed, doesn't it? That's probably what I did, is I was probably exploring the riverbed when I first got to this region. And somehow noticed that it would probably get me all the way to... Oh, what are you doing? Dope! Oh, you know what? That was
Come
quick.
to
Yep.
think of it,
Obviously, I've
we're
been
all
here.
at differing vocations, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Big Dave. Hey, you know what?
Whatever
Gandalf,
it is you need,
get
I
down
shall
here
gladly oblige.
and heal me. I don't actually know how to get my pawns down here. Probably have to go
Fine
over
place to
here.
harvest
Yep, they're
some
coming.
ingredients.
Come on. Give me some heals, Gandalf. I took a shortcut. Thank you.
My curative magics are at your disposal. Wait right there.
I think his voice is pretty good for Gandalf. We'll get used to Big Dave. Alright. Alright. Sneaking in the back door of hell with Athena, Gandalf, and Big Dave dressed as a lion. Oof. I'm actually thinking, I'm wondering if the writers of this would have read Dante as a part of, even if not just for, obviously these are very literate people, but a part of their medieval research, because I'm not necessarily thinking they would for this game, but maybe they would. Maybe they would be going for a pretty broad context, but it doesn't seem like something that would necessarily be on the list. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, well, that sounds out of lantern oil.
Very well. But pray, do not make me wait over
Oh
long.
gosh, these guys.
Saurians!
Oh, I should have changed my skills around. I was testing out this new one, and I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. It's pretty okay. Okay, that's kind of fun, but it's like doesn't seem to be doing any damage. It might be good for crowd control on little guys. I don't know. It's obviously not doing any damage on that guy. Oh, he's made out of rock, though. He's pretty resistant to arrows. And knives. And swords. And I don't have a sorcerer. Oh yeah, here we go. Soft belly. Apparently my PlayStation decided to update everything I have on it. Alright. Come on.
You haven't forgotten us, have you, Master?
No. What? Why did you say that? Oh, I told you to wait. Or come to me. Yeah. Oh, shit. There's really not a lot of options when the... Ah! See, you know, Athena, I'd have to give you the go command. She should be running ahead and getting all that. We're about to switch her back to her main profession when she finishes leveling up fighter. She's actually a warrior, not a fighter. Turn him over. Nice. Alright. I'm kind of enjoying the Big Dave pawn, I'm not gonna lie. Oh shit. Maybe I can get it right at that little soft spot. I vaporized him. Oh! So there you go. Use Heavenly Shot. Go for a belly shot. Even the stony saurians.
Naught compares to the thrill of victory. One cannot help but feel indomitable.
No
Is
doubt, this
that might just
triumph
be you,
will
Athena.
spur
I don't
us
know.
into the next.
Oh, good. Look at how good she is at that. When I put her on fighting aggressively, she just rolled him over.
Don't let up.
We are at our best when we
Yeah.
combine our
No.
strength.
We'll fist bump about that one. That's good stuff. Boy, they're... See, these are already hard. This is like the... So instead of the lizards we're used to, in Hell, they're all going to have this armor on them and be way harder to kill. And we already had to discover a new tactic. Oh, and there's a lot of them, see? This is like a Lobby mob now.
No mercy.
All right. Okay, so this since it has a
Let's hope we don't end up knee deep. You're well fond of picking things up, aren't you?
that can be levitated to, and that looks like it would have treasure. So, or I could harpy pinion it over there. So I'm just reminding myself when I come back that's what we'll do. But so this the other way looks probably like the way onward. Oh wait. Oh,
so
no.
Gwefentia is
Stop.
the Elvish word for scale cinder. I suppose we ought to pay a visit to a Batali blacksmith next.
Oh, this is a dead end.
Very well. I'll guide
Oh.
you there directly.
Boy, that bit me in the ass.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Okay. Let's wait a second. Whoa. That's a bridge. There wouldn't be a reason to have that like that if it was not a bridge. So we can go back. Or maybe you get up there the other way and that isn't anything at all. Like maybe I should check out this wall here. One said sneaking into Hell would be easy. Aha. Oh, that's a shadow. That's not a... I thought that was a ledge. It's a shadow. Okay, we'll backtrack a little more. Look for... So obviously we have a bridge here. And obviously I can... Does that cross over? Well, you could get up to that ledge and jump across. I could try harpy pinioning it across that other thing. Unfortunately, I only have one harpy pinion smoke attractor thing, whatever, or harpy smoke bomb thing. I don't know what it's called. I know what it does. Oh, no, this isn't going to help us at all. I mean, I could make explosive arrows out of sunbloom. Oh, it does. This is what we need.
Different combinations of
Perfect.
materials result in different creations.
That's right, Dave. What is that thing? Oh no! I just shot a goat. Oh. At least we figured out how to get the word goat in there. That was, and you know, I was. They shouldn't put a goat at the back door to Hell because it's gonna trigger something. We're gonna offer up that sacrificed goat at our next campsite. And now I've killed the. Remember, we were tomb raiding beneath Elven Town, and I was in a tomb. I was a little nervous, and I shot a deer. And we had to discover the sound file that they created for deer murderers. And it's like, yeah, that'll give them nightmares. Good sound choice. Because I mean, you can't kill a deer in real life without having to experience it. You should hear what it's like, you know, cleaning field dressing deer. I don't know what it's like down south. You know, I was raised somewhere where there wasn't much hunting in the suburbs, but like there were hunters. I don't know what it's like down there when there's just like, when I was a kid, at least fields of white-tailed deer everywhere because they had no predators. My goodness, was this even the way I meant to go? I guess so. Oh, jeez.
Ah, I'll take that.
I was
We
looking.
might find a use for it.
So this is, we've already streamed an hour here, getting to the edge of hell, hopefully. And it looks like we'll be able to finish this up, and then I'll continue going right on, you know, relying on this continuing breakbulk streaming content style. And you know, as I film this, like the viewers of ours on Pirates are nowhere near where we are. They've got like the whole Elven cycle to go through. I haven't even posted it yet, right? And here we are. We're already kicking down hell's back door, right? Little do they know where they're heading. Bunch of rabbits. I feel like there should be some frogs lined up somewhere, but again, I don't know if that's the kind of thing they would have been researching for this particular piece of literature. Oh shit! Jeez, look at Dave. Well, if anyone was prepared to take out a Minotaur. I'd say that Athena probably has a pretty complicated relationship with Minotaurs, generally speaking. Oh, I ran out of stamina. Yep, give me a pat in the back, Gandalf, thanks. Nice. Nice. Athena hits level 42. And we got a fairy stone for that? That's the, oh, why am I hearing more big animal sounds?
Carpet been destroyed. You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait right there.
I guess we only have one way to go. Oh, and a chimera. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if I can do it in 3 minutes. You might end mid-chimera fight, only to start the next video at a chimera's corpse. Now that was a heavenly shot. Maybe I'm wasting my stamina stuff. I don't know. I don't think about it too much.
Sleep, Matty.
What unawares?
Just do it again. Did that take out a whole health bar, or did I misfire it? Gandalf's pretty good with that freeze of his, if that's who's doing that. Or maybe, was there an NPC involved in this fight? Did I see an NPC jump into the scene somewhere? Let's go right for the goat's head there. Uh-oh. Thank you, Gandalf. Apparently Gandalf only really needs to mix it up when something serious shows up. There we go. Ugh. And Chimera down. I'm guessing there's not going to be like a griffin around this corner. Oh my god. See, look, they're not kidding about hell. Well, anyway, folks, me and the pawns are going to take care of this here Minotaur. And we'll pick you up as soon as that's finished. Thanks for watching part 1 of Breaking into Hell with Athena and Big Dave.